So you saw part one, and right now we're talking about some pipe dreams here in Symphony Park in downtown Las Vegas. Some of the newest places for you to think about living in Las Vegas. Want to know what it's about? Stick around and find out what it's like living in Las Vegas, part 2. If we haven't met before, my name is Eric. I help folks who are moving to the Las Vegas area. If you're looking for that, call, text, email. Doesn't matter if it's 3 days from now, 30 days, or 3 years from now. It's never too early to reach out. Call, text, email. My information is down below and in the pinned comment. Let's get on out there. Okay, I am back again down at Cello Towers, and I know I did part 1 where we talked about living in downtown Vegas, but hey, invited us back and got to get a more detailed experience. This time, I actually got to walk around with one of the guides here, and this way you kind of get to see what it's kind of like around here, and let's get to see some of the sights of what's going on.
In Symphony Park's being developed, and we're responsible for Origin, which is the 6-acre district with Cello Tower. Origin is going to hold a premium grocery store, about 6 to 8 restaurants and shops, 153 multifamily rentals, and of course the 32-story Cello Tower. Also, in addition, we have the Museum of Art going in on the parcel right behind us. Eileen Lynn's Foundation in LACMA, Los Angeles County Museum of Art. The building kitty corner to the park is a Marriott that's going to be completed this summer, and then a 32-story rental high-rise under construction that you saw coming in is a luxury rental community called Capella and Buria, and Elizabeth Blau is taking food and beverage space down at the base of those. So there's a lot going on in Symphony Park. We have the only residential tower for sale. We've been selling for a buy here in selling. We're $150 million under contract, about 30% sold. If anybody would like a trifold with information about the tower, and then there's this little card that has a QR code on the back of it. It's for brokers only, and it has all unbranded renderings, floor plans, amenity information, everything you need if you would like to pitch this to your clients. You know, today, the purpose of Today with Brandon, we're grateful he's here also, is to learn how to, gain the maximum exposure via social media. While you're here, if you want to film around the Symphony Park, if you want to film the model, if you want to interview Tiffany Jones or I, that's my partner there, you can use all of this stuff to push out to your sphere of influence and perhaps gain some trust in business. Prices for Cello, we're going to be completed in 2027, start at about $800,000 for a 1-bedroom. 1-bedroom den starts around $950. 2-bedrooms start at $1.2 million, and 2-bedroom dens plan starts at $1.4 million. Goes up to about $2.6 million for what's available. We've sold quite a few. Our HOA fees range between $550 and $1,250 per month at 69 cents per square foot. And we have every amenity you can possibly imagine in a concierge-based luxury building. So I'm gonna save the rest of the time for what's really important here. And if there's any questions, if you need anything, please let us know. And again, if you would like either a trifold or the broker portal, Tiffany's passing those out right there. Just raise your hand. Okay.
To kind of give you an idea of what's happening. There's so much new development. We're excited to share it with you. We just had our groundbreaking April 29th. So we're actually going to walk down and right past the Cello and the Origin site. So let's get rolling. And before we take off, if you notice the parcel just to the south of us here, that's where the new Las Vegas Museum of Art is going to be going in. Elaine Wynn's Foundation, as LACMA, Jen was telling you guys about that just a little bit earlier. Her foundation in LACMA is going to build a beautiful, our first Las Vegas Museum of Art for the city. And it's expected to start construction in 2027 and be completed in 2028. And they're planning on putting in a sculpture garden throughout. And if it's anything like what LACMA does down in LA, they'll host farmers markets, live music, and so forth. So that's going to be just to the south here. And let's in 2020, they wanted to kind of do a test series to see how demand for resident would be. They built Park Haven and Oric, which are both 5-story mid-rise rental buildings. What they found was they leased out in the first 30 to 60 days, and they remain over 95% occupied. Something I'd like to point out while we're right here on the corner, Jen may have mentioned that we're a master plan. Symphony Park is a master plan community. We have AI security throughout. All of these sidewalks are privately owned. So the camera systems that are set in place offer heat mapping, motion sensors, speakers, so they can detect any sort of transient loitering, any sort of disturbance of any kind. And those will be stationed throughout the entire park area. They'll alert a live security team, and then we have security on site that would be here. So the demand for residential rental down here was so prominent that they're building a 22-story luxury rental building that we're going to walk past called Capella, and also another 5-story brownstone Bria. A lot of big cities, can deal with transient homeless environment.
Yeah.
So it's just a way for us to help manage that. And of course, after we're done talking here, you guys are welcome. Obviously, there's some great little spots throughout Symphony Park, especially in front of the Smith Center, which we'll kind of go over some of that. But, the Children's Discovery Museum is over there on the other side as well. Those have been two of the longest standing properties that have been open at Symphony Park. Of course, the Cleveland Clinic, Blue Ruvo Center for Brain Health as well. So what I'll point out right here on the corner, one thing we didn't get a chance to get into too much is this large parcel right here to the north of us is owned by Derek Stevens, with the exception of this little parcel right here in front of us. The parcel right here is going to be our second residential tower. It's going to be about 18 to 24 months behind the construction of Chillo. We're still in the design phases for the second tower, so we're expecting about half inventory, roughly about 120 residences. Larger homes. These are going to be 2, 3, possibly more larger bedroom sizes. And it'll be self-sustaining, so it won't be a part of Origin or Cello, but close by. So that's going to be right here on this parcel, right on this side of Plaza. And then to the north of that is Derek Stevens' parcel. And he's actually been in the news recently stating he still doesn't know exactly what he's going to do with the project, but we have a little bit of intel that it's likely going to be some type of boutique hotel, a Circa 2, and potentially some mixed-use space in between, possibly more indoor-outdoor dining experiences, retail, and commercial space. So all of that eventually will be connected over to Garage Mahal and Circa. So as time goes by, I think he's still waiting to vet out, see how things continue to roll and develop in Symphony Park. That's going to be a great addition to Symphony Park at some point. And then we're going to walk right across the street here and get into a little bit more about Cello and Origin. All right, so just to the north of us here is where 153 residences that are going in that are rental. It's going to be a 5-story right here on the southeast corner of the parcel. So this entire 6-acre site just to the north of us here is all going to be Origin and Cello. So Origin is going to be the mixed use below, which will be a promenade area that will have restaurants, commercial, offices as well, and it'll all be an outdoor area. So there'll be a lot of outdoor dining experiences. Hopefully we'll be doing like beer gardens, wine tastings, and all of that. So right here, just to the north of us, is going to be the entrance to the promenade, right about where you see these 2 large green posts. The promenade will actually curve around to the back side on that far north corner there over towards the light and where South City Parkway comes in. That's where our 15,000 square foot higher end retail grocer is going to be. There'll be an entrance to a self-parking area for the folks that are using the promenade area, going to the restaurants, the marketplace. So that'll all be curving through here. And Cello will actually sit right here on the corner at a little bit of an angle. So it can bypass Capella, that's here. And Cello will have views straight down to Las Vegas Strip from the 7th floor and above. So on the bottom level is where you have the concierge, security, our valet, there's bike room, there's a pet spa. The second level will have all the health and wellness, so the fitness center, the steam and sauna, yoga spin, cold plunge baths. We'll also have 2 hospitality suites on the second level for owners' guests to utilize. That's part of the HOA. And then on the 7th floor is the residential level. So all the fun happens there. It's It's a rooftop pool that will all have strip views, outdoor bar area, jacuzzi, lots of biophilic design, greenery, some great intimate areas to entertain your guests. There's a pet park and also a cigar terrace on the exterior with the west-facing sunset views. And then on the inside, there's co-working space, private offices, chef's kitchen, dining room, and a beautiful owner lobby that has all the views to the Strip and downtown Las Vegas. And then it'll tower up to 32 stories, the top 2 levels being penthouses. All of these residences will have Juliet balconies, which essentially are large slider glass doors that pocket into each other. They'll have a 42-inch glass barrier that will just allow for that open indoor-outdoor quality of life. Gets too windy, gets too hot, you can just shut it off. But all that's going to be building right here, just on the southwest corner. And as we take a walk back up, we'll cross back in front of the Smith Center. As we're walking through Bria here on our right-hand side is going to be another 5-story brownstone rental. Southern Land, who built Auric, is also building the Capella Tower. Let's take a walk to the... So right here, as I mentioned, Bria on the right-hand side, 5-story brownstone rental. Capella is the 22-story. This is going to be the first luxury high-rise building that's rental only. So they'll have their own amenities, own parking inside the towers or inside the building right here. And then Jennifer was mentioning that Elizabeth Blau is being brought in to do all the food and beverage for the restaurants in between the 2 towers. And these 2 buildings are set to come online just a little bit later this year. So they're anticipating September, October, and then they'll be filling these with tenants. All right, this is kind of the last little corner of our tour here, and I'll get you guys back to the cool air. Right here on this corner facing to the front right is the AC Marriott. That's going to be offering non-gaming. Also, it will have an extended stay portion. As you guys are probably well aware, the Cleveland Clinic that manages the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health is on the far end corner of Symphony Park. So there are a lot of families that come out for extended stay to receive treatments at the Cleveland Clinic. Also on the other side of the Smith Center, they're going to be putting in about 100,000 square foot medical office space. The Cleveland Clinic will be taking over about 30 to 50% of that space. The rest we're anticipating like higher end aesthetic, possibly full body MRIs. We have so many sports teams here, but in terms of a higher elevated medical experience, outpatient sort of surgeries. And then of course, everybody's familiar with the Smith Center. If you're not, you should be. They bring in top rated, everything from concerts to Broadway to you name it, jazz, ballet. They're open 292 days out of the year and now rated one of the top 10 performing arts theaters in the world. And of course, a beautiful park area. We're gonna enjoy some of the shade right now. Okay, before we head back over to the sales center, I just wanted to point out a few little things. So as I mentioned, LACMA and Elaine Wynn's foundation is going to be completing the Las Vegas Museum of Art right here in the front. As you see throughout Symphony Park, there's art installations. The Pipe Dream is the colorful art installation right over here on my left-hand side. What they anticipate, as I mentioned, is putting in a sculpture garden all the way through the back, which at some point will include a crossover to downtown. So eventually there will be 3 different pathways that lead over to the downtown area, so it'll allow that connectivity to downtown Las Vegas. So those folks that want to enjoy a little bit of old Vegas, they can easily access that. But as we walk through, you can imagine all of the new artwork that's going to be through here. So it's very exciting and transformative to our city. A lot of other cities, large cities have that, but we're all very excited about the Museum of Art coming in. So anybody have any questions before we head back to the Experience Center? Well, we appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, now that was so fascinating. Learned so much today and hope you learned a lot, just like I did, about what's going on here in the Symphony Park area in downtown Las Vegas. And of course, like I said before, if you're interested in moving to this area, any other area in Las Vegas, North Las Vegas and Henderson, call, text, email. My information is down below and in the pinned comments. I am so glad to help you guys out. Doesn't matter if it's 3 days from now, 30 days, 3 years. Go ahead and reach out, call, text, email, and of course, my military brothers and sisters, you know what I'm gonna say. Alpha, Mike, Foxtrot. Rest you lovely folks. More than half of you never served, and you know I still love you. I'm gonna keep them lights on for you. Hope to meet you guys sometime. Go ahead and reach out.